Had the pleasure to work with Steve, 59-year-old truck driver who teaches truck driver fitness. Awesome shape and just a really fun guy to have around. Steve, a couple things. Watch how you step in on every pitch, closing your hips off, and then you try to pull it. And also you have a real lack of a lower body load. Look at Brett's left rear hip point. That's where all great hitters load it. Helps them set a body angle, helps them get the timing in the hands back. You don't hardly have a long enough step. It comes inside. Watch how Brett stretches that out, and then he goes into rotation, extension, and axe snap into the ball. Your movement is way too small. It's not long enough. You don't stretch it out. You wouldn't throw a ball that way, and your snap isn't too bad, but it comes up here because you're very golfy or rotational with it. You need to have the elements of extension and snap and just getting better weight transfer forward. You can see how you come up here. Again, watching Brett, there's an axe snap. The body angle's back, but there's still the extension outside the rotation to get to a good snap point. Also, you're early on the ball. You're getting out of the snap right there into a rollover. You're almost hitting off the end of the bat. If you have a better body angle back and you have a better rotation, a better drive into the rotation off the back hip point, you'll do better as well. Again, hitting it way, way out in front. So work on that point of contact back. We want to catch it from the line to snap and bury into it, just like Brett's doing right there. You watch Jeff Hall. Look at that big motion he has on the back. Two things: stride with connection and the hands back, and the other is a level swing, a level axe snap swing, trying to bury into the ball, cut through it, and watch how Hall finishes all the way around on the same plane. The bat doesn't slow down. The faster you can do it, the completion, the faster you can do it at impact. But watch how that rear hip drives open like a Major League Baseball pitch. The front of your right hip or the front of your back hip is where you should really feel the power load up when you take your wind and stride. See how short that is? You pull your hands back, but it's very short, and then your upper body lunges ahead and down. And you're stepping to the inside on those pitches. It's not a bad snap. You have a ton of potential, but again, watching these other swings, you need to lengthen that out, stretch that out, lower, and bring your shoulder, bring everything back into that rear hip, hold it there, and then drive off it into a good rotation. You get a little bit more linear element into it. Again, not a bad snap. Your arms are pinned in though a little bit, so you need to get extension on the perfect snap. It's one thing that we worked on. Every swing looks about the same with the step. And watch the right arm. You just kind of rotate around. There's not much extension to it. And watch the extension of Brett's right arm off of his chest. You can see the extension. It's a linear push and extension off. BJ Falk the same way. Watch how he extends out. Gets a good snapped impact, just like Lud Nordwick here. Lud's a great hitter. Great, he uses the axe all the time. Look at that extension, bearing the axe into the tree. That's the analogy we always want to use. So, look at the beginning here, you're just twisted in place. There's not much weight transfer. We got the frisbee throw to try to get you off the back foot. Again, you're stepping in all the time and stepping in towards the plate. That's going to inhibit your ability to pull the ball, which you typically want to try to do. Again, you see how you buckle and lean down and come ahead, almost fall forward. We need to get that brace leg out so we can rotate against it, like you see Brett do here. It's two moves: load, hands back, connection, and then rotate and drive the axe snap it ahead. All right, we're improving here some on the swing simulator, and you're getting a nice enough snap on it. Now look at the extension you're getting on the snap here. At times I want you to work to the point of contact, but you're vastly improved on it. But again, we don't come ahead far enough, and look at how the swing finishes up just a little bit high. And we can drive and extend that snap and extension so hard, that axe snap, that we blow it out of our top hand. You'll finish up with more of a one-arm finish right there. You're improving off the tier, but again, there's not enough motion forward. It's just too passive, but you're getting better on the axe snap and the extension of the arms while doing it. The rotation better. See that? You're not coming ahead anymore. There's your point of contact, a good axe snap into the point of contact. Those two key elements, if you think about it and break it down that way. You load on the rear hip as you reach ahead, pull the hands back. Look at his left hip, how it loads, and then you use that force to drive the body into a rotation, extend the arms, and axe snap, point of contact back. Going backside good. Here's Jeff Hall reverse from the other side. Look at that load on his rear hip, helps him set a launch angle as well on the front. So here's the second day. Look how much you improved on this. Bat on the hip drill and just getting yourself out there. It feels, it's not a short little movement or improvement. It's a huge radical change. See how your back foot's not coming off? I work with you. I say, hey, get it going. There you go. And then look at that swing. That's some velocity there, Steve. Your potential is unlimited, especially in great shape you are, being almost 60. Again, though, you have to make sure you get the brace leg out and rotate. Watch how you come forward on that. See that? Your whole body drifts forward. The brace leg is called a brace leg for a reason. Watch BJ Falk's head. Stops moving. He rotates around, extends within that rotation. Swing simulator is going to work great for you, but your point of contact's out too far ahead. You need to rotate into it more. Look at Falk's. Bam, right there's your point of contact. Like bearing an axe into a tree like we saw Led do. Here's your practice swing, and your first swing's off the tee here. Right about there, you should be making impact. You're catching it into the rollover. You need to come ahead more, and or you need to get closer to the tee. And one thing you do is you're so far away from the plate, I think that's one reason it forces you to step in on a lot of the pitches. Here we get into some of the early live swings. Watch your right arm, how pinned in it is. You aren't getting a drive and extension. Your arms are pinned in close to your body. Work hard on getting an extension off of that. But you have it simplified down to improving off see your right arm, it never extends out. And you're just kind of dragging it around right there. So the perfect snap and working on extension into that axe snap. Watch Brett's arm. Push away, extend, and then the snap. It's a small movement, a small little detail you see on video, Steve, but makes a huge difference. Anything small you see on video takes a big motion to get to that point. Video is very subtle. Look at his extension, and then there's a snap. Look at how he continues to extend through, all within the rotation. Your perfect snap, see, that's right. Arms come out. So there's a combination of rotational and linear elements. It's not easy, but you certainly improved a ton. And the short stride, swung up. You drive your hands. You use your hips to drive your hands in the X snap at the ball. Get started sooner on that wind and drive. A little bit jam, but that's a good swing. Look at, are you dragging it or driving it?
Drag like a
Okay, then get out of the box. Take a practice it. Come forward more. Come forward more so you can drive it more linear. There you go. You think more linear on it.
solid.
85. You got to get through it more. You got to drive and get through it more. Try.
That's solid.
Watch that, enjoy it. Nice hit.
Oh, enjoy it.
Nice. 88.
Pitch selection's key. You got to get something that you can get out, get your arms in front of, get there and get the snap to it, because if you're jammed inside, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, but why were you jammed technically? What did I tell you to change to do?
Get the weight going forward.
Right, and that's the same thing we worked the whole time, like yesterday. You're short stepping it. Bring the knee back and get yourself going forward so you can drive it, and then you got to drive the hands and next snap, okay?
Exactly.
Hey, what'd you hit there, 88?
Yeah.
That's, huge improvement on it,
Yeah, this has been a very big year for us here at DeMarini, especially as we enter into the senior market with a little more variety. And very proud we brought this guy on board last year, Denny Crine. Denny Crine's synonymous with softball, but he just started playing senior softball here when he got into his 40s. And so we thought it would be apropos to bring out a Denny Crine signature model. Now, all our bats now utilize the Nautilite technology. This is a 13-inch continuous fiber barrel, ZNX alloy handle. Now the Crine model, as you can see here, is end loaded. So this is going to be, when you can really feel it out on the end.
How much of end load is it for you?
I'd say it's probably a little over an ounce. When you feel it compared to some of the other models, it's really concentrated in this part of the barrel. So
And for the seniors, what will the end load mean? If you're just a senior that wants to hit over some fielders have this creeping in on you, what kind of weights are we talking about for a 180-pound guy, 170-pound guy?
I think we'll probably see more 26 and 27 ounce sales in this bat. But there are some guys, and you hear them all the time, some old school guys that like using the heavier models. And I think that this bat will fit that swing.